Hi, HLP teachers. This is Tech Toast Rob, and I'm here with
Mary Grace.
And we're here to talk to you about a new app called Microsoft Whiteboard. Microsoft Whiteboard is a collaborative platform where students can actually, work together on the same whiteboard from their own devices.
Or as a teacher, you can display this whiteboard and the students will be able to see it from their device. If you don't have Microsoft Whiteboard, what you want to do is in the search bar, type in Microsoft Whiteboard, okay? Or you need to go to the store and search for Microsoft Whiteboard and then install it. If it asks you to sign in, don't sign in. And then once you have it, you want to launch it and it'll take you here.
Alright, so once you're here, you as a teacher can invite other teachers, you can invite students. Students can invite teachers to their whiteboard, but students right now cannot invite other students, but there is a workaround for that. So I'm going to go into my whiteboard and I'm going to invite Mary Grace. You're currently looking at Mary Grace's whiteboard. I'm going to invite her to my whiteboard. She's being invited.
And if I wanted to invite, I would just click that and also invite him here. Okay.
So now she sees that I invited her to my whiteboard, and she can join it. And once you're in here, you'll have a lot of options that you can do. So if we go up here to the right-hand side where the hamburger is, you have your settings menu. And we'll kind of go over some of these settings. So number one is active pen. This kind of lets you control things with your stylus or with your finger, depending on what you have set. So for example, if the active pen is off, when you use your finger, it's going to move things around for you. You have to select the pen down here, and then now with your finger you can write. When this is turned off, again, now your finger lets you move things around. If active pen is on, the only way that you can write is with your stylus, and your finger will always move things around.
And also, you can, if you have it off, and you can write with your finger, but you can also write on the mouse pad if you click on it. So I'm holding the mouse pad and I'm clicking and drawing on the mouse pad.
Okay, the next option is ink to shape. So this will allow you to make perfect shapes using your stylus. This is helpful for math class. So I'm going to do this on my computer and not on Mary Grace's computer so you can see the collaboration. But if I draw a square, it's going to turn it into a nice perfect square. If I draw a triangle, it's going to turn it into a triangle. There's an ellipse. There's a circle. And then from there you can do your math problems if needed. Length times width. You can draw a radius. You can draw the height and the base. Okay. All right, the next feature would be ink to table. So what that is that you can draw a shape, and then if you dissect it, it'll automatically turn into a table for you. And you can either draw it on there, or you can use those pluses and minuses that just popped up. You can go vertically, horizontally, and as long as you just do a line, it'll keep adding in sections for you. And the last one is object snapping. And what object snapping does is if you have a shape, let's say I have this square here, and I want to make another one and I want to put them right next to each other. Object snapping gives you these little lines, these little guidelines right here, if you can see that, to help you line up your shapes in the right spot. And you should also get a little notification saying that you've been invited to your whiteboard.
It's kind of late.
Yeah. Took a while. Other things you can do is then you can export your whiteboard, and so students can write on their whiteboard. They can export it as a file and then turn that into you as an assignment. You can send these things to Whiteboard, to OneNote or Teams. You can also format the background. So as we have it here, we have this yellow, grid background, but we can change it to blue or purple, or have dots, or it's just plain. So however you want to use that, if it helps you to organize things a little bit better. You have the ability to clear the whole canvas, and you can also move the toolbar location around if it's in the way when you are using it.
You have something that you want to enlarge or shrink. You want to use your 2 fingers to enlarge it or shrink it on your tablet. You can also do that on your mouse pad as well.
There's a view, and then you have to select it like that.
That works too.
Either way, the view or the object. Okay. All right, so some of your options are to use your pens. So at the bottom you have different color pens, and you can change the color of your pen if you want to by clicking on it, and then you select the color that you want and the thickness of the line that you want. So you have thin lines, and you have thicker lines, and you have even like rainbow pen as well here. And something else that I like about this option is when you have your erase function, what you erase is what you touch is the only thing that's going to be erased. Another cool feature about that is, go ahead and look at the circle, and if I were to give my students a math problem, I could write on this circle, but if I wanted to give them another example, I would use my eraser, and it would only erase my writing. It won't get rid of the circle. It won't get rid of the circle for you.
This plus feature. Okay, so if I wanted to add text, I can add text here.
And then you have this lasso option, which just lets you select multiple objects to move around all at once, versus selecting the object individually and then moving that around. Okay, so another feature that Whiteboard has is that you can annotate on your images or your PDF, so you can actually give the kids a worksheet or some kind of thing that they can work together on, like a chart, and they can fill this out. And so I'm just going to kind of draw on this PDF that I inserted. And then when I select the PDF, if I move it, all my annotations stay in the exact spot that I put on the PDF. And then we could both work on that PDF at the same time together, and again everything will stay where you write it. If you mess up, just go ahead and hit these little back and forward buttons on the bottom, and it should get rid of the last thing that you did, just like a Microsoft Word document would. Other options on here are little stickers. You can insert an image. You have access to your camera. So once the camera's up, you'll see the photo. And this is like a little personal icon, so maybe the kids can take their picture and then put it by the work that they did. And again, if you select it, you can make it bigger. You could rotate it. You can draw on it. Thanks, Mary. Okay, so another cool feature about this is that it has a straight edge for you. And what's neat about the straight edge is that if you're drawing, it won't let you cross the straight edge. So it'll help you draw a perfectly straight line. So maybe if I wanted to make an angle, and it even tells you this your angle's at 7 degrees. So, yeah. And I can maybe rotate it. So again, this is like another feature that helps for a math class. And you rotate it with your 2 fingers. And so if I wanted to draw an angle there you go. I have my 7-degree angle, and now I'm going to put in my 0 degree, and that's a 7-degree angle. So, as we mentioned earlier, teachers can share with other teachers. Teachers can share with students. So if I just start to put in a student's name. So you can search for students, you can invite them, but we're not going to do that because all of a sudden they're going to have a whiteboard up that they don't know where it came from, and my picture is going to be there. But, and then students can search for teachers as well. So in order for the students to share with each other, if they have the app, they're going to go to this upper right 3 dots, and they're going to hit create a sharing link. Web sharing, turn it on, and it's going to create this link. Students will have to copy this link, and they'll have to post it somewhere for the other students to access. Whoever accesses that link will be into the whiteboard, so they could put it in places like Google Classroom, create a Google Doc, and post it in there, and it'll link the other students to their whiteboard. And then lastly, there's a online version of Microsoft Whiteboard, which the students can use if they cannot download the app. And in order to get there, they're going to open up their browser. And they're going to go to their Office 365 account. So once the students log in with their @HLPUSD email, they can go to More Apps or All Apps, and they can search for the whiteboard, and it's right here. And they can get in just like they would on the desktop app. But they have limited features. So they only have access to their pen and their eraser. So whichever version your students want to choose, if you just want them to use pens and eraser and not do all the extra features because you think that they're going to play with it, they can use the online whiteboard. And I think for this one, it's up in the upper right corner where they would add and they would create a sharing link again, copy that link, and post it wherever they needed to in order to have other students join their whiteboard. I hope this helped. If you have any more questions on Microsoft Whiteboard, feel free to contact any of your Tech Tosas. We're always available to help.